Hello, my name is Nick. Today we're going to be talking about material container changes on our grease pumps. There's a certain sequence that we follow here that, when done correctly, can save you a lot of mess and a lot of time. To begin, make sure you're wearing proper safety equipment and take note of where your pump settings are at.
We have a variety of pumps that all look a little different, but the general procedure is the same. Pause the video here to identify which pump you have and locate the necessary components.
First, ensure that your pump shutoff is off. Next, we're going to open the inductor air assist valve. What that does is it puts air on the bottom of the inductor to allow you to change the bucket. If you don't do that, this is what will happen. Using the ram elevator control valve, begin to raise the pump out of the bucket. Now, the speed of the elevator is controlled by the ram regulator. If it's coming up faster than you want, you can decrease the regulator. You want to stop right when the seal is even with the top edge of the bucket. The reason you want to do this is because if you break the seal, you're going to get sprayed with grease, and you don't want that. So now we can close the inductor air assist valve and continue raising.
If you are replacing a 5-gallon bucket or smaller, it can be helpful to keep the empty container close by, as it can be used as a catch can. It is also important to note that you should not scrape out any material left in your bucket, as it will create unwanted air bubbles.
Once you've pulled the bucket away, take this opportunity to inspect your inductor seals, inspect nuts, bolts, all of your hardware, and make sure everything is in good operating condition. You don't want it to fail once it's back in the bucket. To load a new bucket, first, we have a couple things we need to do here on the inductor. We're going to remove the inductor T-handle. And we're also going to clean out the inductor bleed valve. You can do this using a small screwdriver, and you want to make sure the valve is open. And you want to get in here and clean this little slug of grease out. The reason we do this is because if you don't, you're going to be wearing it. One of the tricks that we use here at GP Reeves, blue shop rags. These come in handy when you're first loading material into the pump. Helps to control the mess. We're gonna take and wrap it around the T-handle port. Then we're gonna make a nice little fold right here in the inductor bleed valve. Just put it underneath the on-off valve.
Load the new material container into the pump. If the locators have been adjusted properly, the container should slide directly in place. Otherwise, center the container under the inductor plate as best as you can.
With the material loaded into position, we're going to go ahead and lower. One thing you want to do here is you don't want to go too fast.
Lower the inductor onto the top of the container by rotating the ram elevator lever to the ram down position until the inductor is at an even height with the top of the material container. Then, rotate the lever back to the stop position. We don't want to fully engage the bucket yet. Slowly lower the inductor into the material container using a throttle technique. Once the inductor has engaged the top layer of material, a solid stream of material should begin to flow out of the T-handle bleed port. Once this has occurred, rotate the ram elevator lever to the stop position, reinstall the T-handle, and clean up the grease using the paper towel you already have in place. Rotate the ram elevator to the ram down position. This time we are looking for a solid stream of material to come out of the inductor bleed port. You will want this to occur for around 10 seconds without any air bubbles. Once there are little to no air bubbles, close the inductor bleed valve. The material should have fallen nicely onto the paper towel or rag below the fitting, and you can remove and dispose of that now. Next, turn on the pump shutoff knob. You can tell if the pump is active by verifying that the air pressure on the pump regulator has returned to its original setting. If you were able to keep air out of the pump during the material change and the pump was bled and primed correctly, then the pump should not cycle more than once or twice after you have turned the pump air back on. If this is the case, your pail change is complete, and you can resume greasing operations as normal. As a final confirmation, you may choose to do a bleed and prime at the pump bleed valve. With all that said, sometimes air still gets into the system no matter how careful you are. You will know if this has occurred because as soon as you turn the pump air supply back on, the pump will begin cycling and not stop. If this happens, turn the pump off using the red pump shutoff knob and check out our runaway pump troubleshooting video. If you have further questions about your GP Reeves products, feel free to reach out to our service department at 616-266-9229 or service@gpreeves.com.